Lexus would not be Lexus without the V8. The brand launched with the LS 400 with a revolutionary 4-liter V8 that took it to the Germans. The V8 lived on for many generations of the LS 400, the LS 430, the LS 460. We even saw the V8 in coupes like the SC 430 and the SC 400. We've seen the V8 in the GS 400, GS 430, GS 460, and the GSF. We've seen it in the RCF, and now it lives on and will die here in the IS 500. Lexus brought this engine back in the IS just a couple years ago. It was a 2021, 2022 model year. Lexus revived the V8 here in the IS for the most recent generation, and actually started with this paint color, the Incognito paint color. But it is sad that the V8 is going away in most brands, and especially for Lexus, that has really earned its reputation of being smooth, powerful, luxurious, and refined on the backs of their expertly crafted V8s. Well, today we're going to drive it at night here, a little Need for Speed Underground or Midnight Club sort of video game review. I really enjoy driving performance cars at night because my streets are not littered with people who cannot drive, and tons of people who cannot drive, should I say. You can't even get around them. So today, or should I say, it's about 4 a.m. and we're going to take this out for a spin at nighttime and really appreciate the fruits of Lexus's history and hard work with this 5-liter V8 producing 472 horsepower and just shy of 400 pound-feet of torque. Made it to the 8-speed auto. All right, what do we have up front? Well, of course, we have Lexus signature spindle grille, and since it's an F-Sport model, it's got the lacy design. We got triple beam LED headlights, which surprisingly are not standard on the IS 500. You have to spend the extra, I think it's for the premium package. But anyways, we also have these optional BBS wheels. I'll go ahead and put what the price of these are down below, but you get these BBS 19-inch wheels on the IS 350 F-Sport models as well. Still, the IS, even though it's old, it's long in the tooth, when they refreshed this model in 2021, it instantly became one of the best looking luxury sedans on the market, and I stand by that here a few years later. This is actually a 24 model, but I'm almost positive there are 0 changes to the 25. We have the light bar in the back. This is one of the first vehicles in the Lexus lineup to have the light bar. The UX preceded it. Now just about everything has a light bar in the back. And you have the IS 500 badge back there. Also, the dead giveaway that this is an IS 500, not a 350 or a 300 F Sport, is that we have those quad tip stacked exhaust, which is an homage to the original ISF. I haven't been driving it, I'll be honest, I haven't been driving it a lot this week because the back seat is just too small for my kids. Well, 3 of my kids to fit side by side by side. It was really difficult for them to get buckled. But we do have vents back there, I appreciate that. And you guys know there's not a lot of room in the back seat of an IS. I would say 2 small adults or two children is what it's good for. But hey, this is the last sedan in the Lexus lineup with a V8. I mean, the LC 500, for example, has a V8. I think I missed that earlier. LC 500 has a V8, but that's going to be discontinued before we know it as well. So this has the red interior, and it has a ton of red. I mean, the door panels are red, the dash is red, the seats are red. These seats are old, but man, are they still comfortable here in 2024. So let's go and get on the inside of the IS 500. Memory seats here, 3 different memory settings. We still have the slidey gauge F Sport. That's what I call it, slidey F Sport gauge. When you change the drive modes, it changes. We'll be driving a little bit Sport Plus today. Eco, which is quite silly here, and you press down for that. And then there's a button on the steering wheel. It's the Pages button right here. pages button will make it slide, and then you can choose different information here on the screen. So, I mean, knock yourself out. Gear position, miles per gallon is quite laughable, but you're not buying this vehicle to save fuel. You're buying it to burn fuel and hear and feel the powerful V8. This screen is ancient. This screen is really ancient. It is a touch screen, but it is, yeah, I mean, really what you need to do is, yes, we have the touchpad here. You press menu, and then you're going to use a touchpad, which you can use a touchscreen to get to Android Auto here, but sometimes a touchpad is not too bad. It's just kind of ugly and takes up space in here. So there we have it. You have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, but it is wired. But anyways, the 10-inch screen works fine enough for me. Below that, we have the traditional clock, which is a dying thing in Lexus models. Like, most tradition is pretty much dead in Lexus models. Pains me to say that, but yeah, it is. The tradition of naturally aspirated big engines and really nice interiors, that, well, it seems to be going away in just about every new Lexus. You can't really see it, but we do have a, well, maybe if I open the door here, it'll give us some extra light. There we go. We have a CD player down there. Mark Levinson is still one of the best sound systems on the market. So I love the climate control, love the volume knob, love the tuning knob there. Below that, you're gonna have your heated steering wheel, heated ventilated seats. The ventilated seats actually work quite well here. Pretty basic shifter, nothing too fancy there. There's your touchpad, drive control knob, as well as auto brake hold, which I appreciate. In here, this is where your USB-A's hook up. Yes, that's right, no USB-C's in here, just 2 USB-A's. Here's a nice luxury feature. We have this sunshade that comes up in the back. We have a 360 camera, which is really nice to have. You know, surprisingly, we don't have auto folding mirrors in here, which is kind of a miss in my opinion for a Lexus. And then you have ASC, which is advanced sound control or whatever, and it pumps audio into the speakers, which the V8's already loud as hell in here. I don't need it to be louder with synthetic noises. I'll talk about how I want it to be louder here once we start driving. We got the F Sport Performance badge here, which has the black background, and that's why you have the black badges on the outside of the vehicle instead of the white badges for the normal F Sport. The black is what you want typically if you like performance in a Lexus. Actually, what you really want is, well, the full-blown F without the Sport badge on it. But anyways, there's only one F model left, and that is the RC, and it's not even, well, it feels older than this car. So let's go ahead and start driving the incredible and almost historic IS 500 V8. All right, IS 500 feels like an old glove to me. I've driven so many ISs. You guys know when I started this channel, I was selling for Lexus. And no, the IS 500 didn't exist at the time, but I was there when they announced the refresh of this IS. Let's go ahead and put in Sport Plus. Yeah, baby. Oh my goodness gracious. It's a thing of beauty. And what it also makes me, you know, think of the incredible LS models of the past of the V8. Makes me think of the RCF, but especially more than anything, it makes me think of the LC 500, which just has a very special place in my heart. So there's no one behind us. Oh, there's a little water there, whatever. It's, I guess, real world situation. Let's go ahead and do a 0 to 60 here. I'm expecting it to crack 5 seconds. Yeah. I mean, that was 485. I mean, the conditions just aren't perfect. Like I said, there's some water on the road, and yeah, anyways, 485. It's not necessarily going to be the fastest car out there. for 0 to 60, and you're gonna have to figure out how to launch this thing just perfectly. But I don't care about 0 to 60 too much in this car. It's all about the V8 experience. Paddle shifters work pretty well. Not quite as satisfying as the LC500's 10-speed. This 8-speed does, well, the 8-speed is serviceable. Okay, that's all I say. It's fine. It's fine enough. It's more on the luxury side. So the shifts are smooth. When you take it, I just put it back into normal mode. The shifts are smooth in everyday driving. It's very typical Lexus. And the ride quality of it in here, even though it has adaptive variable suspension, it can stiffen up. The ride quality in here is very Lexus. It's cushy, it's soft. Even though you have these rubber band tires with these 19-inch wheels, it feels like a Lexus sedan. Super cushy, super luxurious, except you have pretty damn razor sharp handling here, which something like the ES isn't. The ES does not embody any sort of this fiery Japanese spirit. Even though the ES has F-Sports, the ES, it still has a V6, so you can still get a big naturally aspirated engine in there. But how does this perform? So I like how this transmission performs with the paddle shifters. Without the paddle shifters, well, it's a bit lethargic, this transmission. You really have to bury your foot for it to downshift how you want it. Otherwise, it'll just carry a gear, and it's satisfying. It's just, it doesn't give you the full acceleration because you're not in the power band of the V8 that revs to 7,000 RPM. So this is something that's always been weird on this IS 500, is that there's a 2-stage pedal. I don't know if I've ever been in another vehicle with a two-stage gas pedal. So you'll press it down, it'll feel like you hit a barrier, and then you can press it down like a couple, I don't know, maybe a centimeter further. It's a super strange, oh, there's a cop right there, so, you know, gotta be responsible. It's a super strange feeling to have a 2-stage gas pedal. I just don't understand why it's there. I don't know if it's for emissions or whatnot. I don't like it. I wish it was just one stage pedal where you don't run into any barriers. It just feels like the car is stopping you from enjoying its true self. All right, so like I said, I love the handling of this vehicle. It feels light. Oh gosh, see, oh man. Probably is a reason why I'm getting less than 15 miles per gallon at this point, but let's go back into normal mode. I gotta fault this vehicle. So these triple beams look incredible from an aesthetic point of view. They don't perform incredible. So I have a really wide spread here. What was that? That was actually an Acura ZDX. It was a Cadillac Lyric. So these lights have a very short throw. Within the throw, it's super bright. So it only goes, I would say, maybe 60 yards out in front of me. And then there's like a hard cutoff with these low beams. Now the high beams are fine. They're great. There's nothing wrong with the high beams. They reach high, widespread, great uniformity. But the low beams, it's just, I want more distance to them, maybe 20 more yards. It just seems too compromised. And I've heard from some people that the bi-LED headlights on the IS 500, the standard LED headlights that don't look as fancy as these triple beams, have a better low beam performance. So anyways, they're okay. I'll just say that, but in a luxury car, is okay good enough? No, it's not good enough. So yeah, there's my thought on the triple beams. They're aesthetically pleasing, but performance-wise on the low beam side, they just don't reach very far in front of you. I guess that's why you have high beams, but these are some of the lowest performing, lowest reaching, I should say, low beams I've tested. Other things about the IS, well, it's ancient in here, so that's why it feels like an old glove. You still have a touchpad. like the steering wheel feels old, but good, still good. So everything is more like a classic 2010s Lexus in here. Because this IS generation, gosh, when did it come out? 2014, somewhere around there. So this IS generation's been out for at least 10 years, and very little has changed on the inside. Obviously, the screen technology, just a little bit, but it is. Oh yeah, I haven't talked about the brakes. The IS 500 has upgraded brakes compared to the standard IS models, and I've hated them in the past on this vehicle. They're still not my cup of tea. They're really soft. There's no initial bite. It's almost like a Lexus ES brake pedal. And that's how the Japanese like, geez, my gosh. To my understanding, the Japanese like to tune their brake pedals to have a super progressive and soft pedal to their brake pedal. I just want a lot more bite initially. It doesn't have that on the IS 500, and it's just, I want a better brake feel. I'm not saying the brakes are bad, it's just the brake feel. Now I know on track that the brakes have fade to them. I haven't tested, I've read about it, so there's that. Yeah, the brakes here are just underwhelming for such a high performance car, but what are you gonna do? I guess you could replace them, put some Brimbos on there, or maybe you can put the RCF's brakes on here. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a direct swap, but I don't know if the lines change or the brake master cylinder change. I have no idea. All right, so anyways, brakes could be a lot better in here. The only good thing, the two best things about this is the feel and the sound of the V8 and the looks. However, you essentially get the same looks with the IS 300. You just don't get the bulged hood, you don't get the quad stack. Oh my God, it just keeps pouring and pulling. And the red line just, it's so high for a V8. Oh my gosh. How would I compare this to like a Mustang? I would take this over any Mustang around the same price tag. This comes in around 65K. I've driven a Dark Horse, which was like 70, 75. This is a so much better vehicle than the Dark Horse. Oh my gosh, the quality in here feels so much better than a high-end Mustang. The comfort, the ride quality. I mean, what the Mustang has, if you guys have watched recent reviews, Mustang has the optional drop top. But when I'm in the Mustang drop top, I just think of the ultimate V8 drop top, which is the LC500 from Lexus. So anyways, yeah, the Mustang's fine if you can get a more of an entry-level Mustang. Once you're spending over 60 grand on a Mustang V8, you're just gonna have so much of a better experience here. And, oh, here's the other thing. I want a louder exhaust note, or an active exhaust. That's something that Mustangs have. I know Mustang's not a luxury car, but there's just not a lot of V8 vehicles left. The Mustang's even a coupe, for example, and this is a four-door. But hey, V8 powered vehicles in the $60,000 range, this is hard to beat. But yeah, I want a louder exhaust note. Lots of engine noise, lots of induction noise here from this V8. But it's all engine noise. A great opportunity to get into the brakes. I absolutely do not like these brakes. So yeah, they're not, yeah. So that's the thing. I think I might like the transmission, how the transmission performs better than the brakes. So we're just going to, who's going to cut across here. Yeah, brakes are probably the weak point of this, then the transmission. And the handling is really good, and the V8 is, well, the V8 is perfection, chef's kiss. Just need more exhaust note. So I'm going to see you guys in the comments. This is a modern day relic. It's fairly expensive, but what else is there to compare with it? The V8 here is worth the price of admission. And it's sad. It's bittersweet to drive this car. It's a blast from the past, It's a dying breed. Large displacement engines that are naturally aspirated. It's yeah, it's a bit sentimental driving this car. Not as much as the LC 500. Like I said, that car brought me to tears. This doesn't have quite the same emotional response. Maybe if it had a clapping exhaust like the LC, I would probably be in tears. That's a possibility. But the LC is just, my gosh. Watch my review on the LC 500. And I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys for watching. Long live the Lexus V8. This vehicle is worth the money due to its exclusivity, its uniqueness here in 2024, its styling, its roaring V8. I just hope you don't spend all your money on the car, because you're going to need a lot of money on 93 octane. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.